to our question answer session. So I just feel it a privilege to just handle this session because it gives me a lot of comfort and happiness that I'm able to use my maturity, the knowledge what I've gained in order to guide people to lead their lives better and make this world a happier place to live in. In all my 50 years of life, what I could understand is this. If you are happy, if you are joyful, so we can use all our time for doing something productive. We can focus on something good. But worry is the most dangerous thing because it attracts a lot of negative circumstances into our life. At the same time, does not put us in balance. So we have to overcome our worry. In order to overcome our worry, we need to gain knowledge. So if I just look back into my life almost 20 or 25 years back, the only difference I make from then to now is that in 20s I never had awareness about various things. So many things used to bother me, many things used to trouble me, and I was lost in worry, and I wasted much of my time in the process. But once I started gaining knowledge, I started gaining maturity. So once I started gaining maturity, most of the problems vanished from my life. So I could lead my life comfortably. So I never felt any circumstance or any challenge that is happening in my life so serious because I realized that all the problems that I'm encountering in life, I'm encountering because of the thinking that is going on in my mind. So I could bring that balance into my life and I started leading my life better. I was not the same before. I knew how horrible life is in worry. I knew how horrible life is in kind of disturbances. But once I was out of that disturbance, probably only things I had to struggle a bit about is like my body complaining me because of a lot of physical work and my mind complaining me because of reading something for a long time or doing something for a long time, that's it. Other than that, I was not so serious about anything that's happening. My intuition or my inner voice started guiding me. So the minimum I learned made me happy, and I want that happiness to be in multiple forms in everyone's life. And there's a great joy in seeing the happiness of people. When we can see others happy, our soul gets that comfort and it also celebrates being happy. So this made me to take the initiative of answering the questions of students, and slowly that made me to enhance my maturity too. And there are some students who frequently ask questions, so that made me a lot of focused, or that made me more determined towards organizing this question answer session, because if something is not working out in the life of people, they don't keep asking questions continuously. And many students used to tell me that I was really struggling or worrying about this problem for the past 10-15 days, sir. Your guidance today, the information what you have told today has really made me to overcome the worry what I was having all these days. So thank you so much for that information. So that also made me more committed towards doing this session. So I hope I'll be blessed by God to give some beautiful answers for all of you. And this information would enhance your maturity and put you away from problems and make your life more sensible, joyful, and prosperous. So let's begin our game, okay? So today I had a question from Bashir. So let me just answer this question. Hi Bashir, thank you so much for your question, man. So the question is like this. To send a person to educate is hard, but why is it easy to send a person to work? Quite interesting and a different question. See, when we are trying to send a person to work, our focus is on only one specific thing. We want a person to get expertised in that specific work. Suppose I come from a weaver's family. If my father wanted to see me as a weaver, he would send me to someone who weaves saris. So probably I have to stay with him for 5 to 6 months. First I have to observe everything, what's happening. And then I have to try weaving. And slowly I'll come to understand that. Probably within 6 months, okay, I can start weaving. And in a year or two, I'll be knowing everything about weaving. So knowing some work or gaining some skill in that particular work doesn't need awareness about various things. It does not need common sense. It does not need creativity. It does not need innovation. It does not need analyzing ability. It does not need reasoning skills. So it does not need anything about writing. It does not need anything about speaking. All we need to do is we are focused about doing that specific work. That is the reason why it's pretty easy for anyone to do that job. So whatever it is, even if you want to become a goldsmith, or you want to become a welder, you want to become an AC mechanic, or you want to do some labor work, or whatever it is, okay, when you want to put yourself into some kind of work, so it doesn't take more than 6 months for us to execute that work and make some money out of it. So even if it is a bike mechanic, okay, or someone who prepares fast foods or squeezes some juice and distributes to people, or prepare some kind of new sweet or a different food item, all these things, from the day go, they start performing it, they start doing it. And that is the reason why within 5 to 6 months, okay, they'll be good at it and they start performing it. And we see many people who work as an assistant for a videographer, and within another 6 months or 1 year, they'll be having their own video camera and they'll be shooting marriages on their own. Someone will join as an assistant for a video editor, and within 6 months, okay, they become very good at editing and they keep designing their own videos. So all I can tell you is, to learn a work in some particular thing, it's not a big deal. Probably 6 months to 2 years is a very good time to handle anything. But when it comes to education, education is like a wholesome concept. It's not specific about one particular thing. It's about making a person aware of various things. So our main focus is on bringing awareness about various things. So we learn science, we learn social, we learn history, we learn languages, we learn 2-3 languages, Telugu, Hindi, English or Sanskrit, and we want to develop logical thinking and reasoning ability through mathematics. We do a lot of practical things, experiments, we write essays, participate in competitions, cultural activities, we involve sports into it, creative events. So we are challenged with a lot of things. So education wants to bring an overall progress in a person to do a specific task. So education is not just going to make a person do one specific thing, but education can drive a person to do anything. Probably a fellow, as I told you, if I was admitted, if I was associated with someone who weaves saris, I might be aware about only weaving saris. Probably if I have to do something else again, I have to learn that process. I'm not going to be intelligent and I can't grow my business to greater extent. But a fellow who is educated, he builds his confidence because he's aware about various things. He can read books, he can update knowledge, he can explore whatever he wants, he can find conclusions and answers for every challenge what he has. If there are some challenges that are coming up in our way because of economical crisis, recessions and all, we can make decisions. We can meet the requirements of the current changes due to the digital world. So, education makes a person ready to face any kind of challenge, whatever it is, according to the changing circumstances. But I don't think that if a person is specifically working on a particular thing, he can only handle that. He may not be in a position to handle many other things. Of course, if that education is driving that justice or not, that's a different question. But definitely education is aimed at that. So we slowly mold a student with discipline. We want to build a character in him and we want to set his behavior. We want to change his communication, the way he writes and speaks. We want to change his thinking through moral stories, moral information. We want to enhance his values, ethics. We want to bring awareness about various things to him. We want to bring everything that is going on in the world. We want to make him meet to the standards of the current day world. So people who are truly educated, who develop the ability of learning to learn, could do something wonderful in their life because they learn to learn. So when they learn to learn, that gives a scope for them to gain awareness about various things and do something miraculous in life. But whatever we have seen in the life of Abdul Kalam, I don't think we can really see in a person, okay, who learns some work. So we never explored someone like that who just learned to weave saris or learn some goldsmith work or do some coconut business or something like that to do something very big in life. And there are people, of course, okay, who have been dedicated to one particular process and achieved success. But I strongly believe that they gained education by observing the world, analyzing everything that is going on around them and bringing it out. So it's a good question, Bashir. I hope it's quite interesting too. So I have observed this a long time back. So it's pretty easy for us to learn a specific work. It doesn't need much skills. So we don't need to be aware of various things. All we need to do is just build a bit of confidence on ourselves and courage on ourselves that we can handle it. We need to know the process, pick up the process and start working with that. But education is not about that. It develops us in various ways. See, probably if I was not educated, so if I really want to discover why anger comes in my life or why a lot of negative emotions are fed in me and why I'm not able to keep peace or balance in most of the times. So I have to go through a lot of stuff. I have to read that, I have to understand, I have to analyze. So without reading, without understanding, without analyzing, I don't specifically think that, okay, I would be in a position to understand all these things. And if I'm not in a position to understand all these things, I definitely cannot help people in order to execute all this, I suppose. So as I've developed my ability to read, analyze, reason, find out some logic, I make a big difference in life. So let me add some few things to you so that you can gain more clarity. See, every time we have a challenge, we can just keep suffering for that challenge, or we can find a solution for that challenge. People who find solution for that challenge will have that courage and confidence to handle much more challenges in life. If people are not having that ability to handle that challenges, face that challenges, then I don't think that, okay, they will be ready to face the next challenge. See, most of the people who involve themselves in work like auto drivers and all, they don't make a pretty decent life. They don't know how to handle finance. They can't build relations. So they are like, they create a circle around them and they live their life in that circle. And most of the life becomes an accident for them. So education is a wholesome process. So wherein we need to gain awareness about various things, build a lot of skills, develop a lot of analytical knowledge, logical thinking, enhance our intellect, so become strong in attitude, so speaking skills, writing skills, behavior, character, so developing compassion, kindness, integrity, determination, dedication. So a lot of qualities are to be developed, okay, and this can be done only in an educated person. The others may not be doing that kind of justice, I suppose. Okay. So I hope, Bashir, you've got some clarity about this, I suppose. Because it's an overall game, but when it comes to working on a specific thing, it's not an overall game, it's a simple game. So just learning the process of doing it and trying to do it. And it's mostly to fulfill our daily needs, like earning bread and butter and some shelter, giving some minimum requisites for the family and taking off life forward. But when we are educated, we are more responsible. We can influence the lives of people. We can motivate people. We can inspire a lot of people. So we can change and set ourselves as a role model when we can give that confidence for many people to lead a wonderful life. And the greatest joy in life is we becoming helpful for maximum people. And that is possible only with an educationalist who really understands the overall picture of everything. But a fellow who is not educated, he cannot enhance every skill that is needed. See, probably I just wanted to train spoken English. But in the initial days, I felt it's all about a bit of motivation to students. Then it was about grammar. Then it was about understanding the psychology of the students. Then it was about knowing the attitude, the importance of attitude in creating results. Then it was about knowing the current challenges. Then it was about realizing truths, implementing them in life. So developing an ability to represent that. Then it was about designing my mind, understanding how my mind works, understanding the role of emotions, understanding the importance of energy, how we drive it, what is exactly happening in every phase of our life. It included a lot of things. Okay, so I think only an educationalist can involve into all this and create something out of their life. Sorry, but for a fellow who is just something specific about doing a process, may earn a lot of money, okay, but he cannot become useful for people. He cannot create happiness, peace and prosperity in the lives of people. And he cannot bring some change in the lives of people so that the world becomes a happier place to live in. Hope you understood this, Bashir. Thank you so much for a wonderful question. Thank you, Bashir. So, hi, Pyari. I was just talking about you, that you frequently ask questions in order to enhance your knowledge, and you are a kind of inspiration for us to do this question answer session. I even saw some of your messages wherein you were sending some request to madam asking for today we have a question answer session or not. Appreciate your curiosity and interest. So, I just would like to tell you something, Pyari, okay? All we have in life is time and energy. Time, it's not in our control. It anyway passes away. So we cannot control it. So we cannot stop it. So only thing we have is energy. Drive that energy towards a positive cause. Use all your energy, okay, to do something worthwhile in life. Don't waste your energy worrying about something which is not really important in life. Worrying about something which is not really serious about in life. Okay. I hope you'll do it, Pyari. Thank you so much for that. So, good evening. And her question is, how can we get clarity about what we are seeking for, what we want, how to overcome our anxiety? Let me break it into two parts. The first one is, how can we get clarity about what we are seeking for? See, everything starts with a confusion. So we may not be clear about anything in the beginning itself, but confusion is an indication for us to say that we are going to get some clarity in future. Without confusion, I don't think that we can ever create clarity in life. So don't worry when you are in a confused state. But only problem which most of the people encounter is this. Everyone wants success or whatever they want to happen instantly, very quickly. They don't want to take a lot of time, okay, in order to meet it up. So they want to make things very quickly. They want to make things, see, they think like, suppose if you are seeking for something and if you get that, okay, you will be thinking that, okay, then I'll be free. But I told you so many times, right? Attaining something in life is like climbing a mountain. So when we are climbing a mountain, we will have to sweat, we will have to stress, we will have to strain, we will have to slog, stretch ourselves and walk. In the process, we think that somehow if I complete this journey, I'm going to be free forever later. But till we complete the mountain, we'll go with the same attitude. But once we climb the mountain, we realize that adjacent to it, there is another big mountain which we have to climb. And there also we start making a decision that somehow let me push this on, let me climb this also. If I climb this, then everything is going to be great in my life. But somehow even after climbing that mountain, immediately adjacent to it, there will be another mountain. And life will have its challenges all through. So don't worry about anything, okay? Whatever that is coming into your realization, whatever that you are gaining awareness about, let that awareness be brought in. So if there is confusion about something, let that confusion be there. See, recently I have been listening to Jaggi Vasudev's contents, and in the process I saw him talking about this statement so many times. The real problem is about getting identified with something. So when we get identified with something, then we are finished. So we will have a lot of suffering in the process. So I was not exactly getting that point. I tried to hear the presentation of him because it was done in shorts, okay, which was less than a minute. So I could not get a detailed information of that. But that confusion is there in my mind. But it is okay. I don't want to get clarity about it all of a sudden. So there is a confusion about what is exactly getting identified. I want a clarity about it, but I'm waiting because I know that someday I'll get some clarity about it. And even getting clarity is not going to resolve anything because I'll be having another confusion later. So initially when I was reading books, gaining knowledge, I used to have a lot of doubts. It's like I just read one statement of Gautama Buddha who said that, okay, we are the universe expressing itself for a while. So I had a big question, how are we an universe? How can we be an universe? Are we having this planet, stars, open space, water, minerals, lot of things within us? So how can it be possible? But in the due course of time, one day I was sitting and writing different questions on different concepts. And in the process of writing questions continuously, so one day I wrote nearly 120 to 130 questions. In the process of writing that questions, I came to a realization that yes, I am the universe. And the universe is expressing as Venu for a while. That is probably for 70, 80 years of life. So I was so excited at that moment, okay, realizing that I am the universe expressing it. The universe is expressing as Venu for a while. But that realization will give some kind of excitement, and that excitement is only going to last for a short while. And again we will be brought into some other confusion, some other idea. So we have to again hang on with that. And there are many things like that which we keep on working. So don't be so curious or don't be so anxious about realizing the things very fast in life. Let us take time. So have that question. If that question is bothering you, if it is creating a lot of pain and suffering within you, then look out for answers immediately. If it is not creating any kind of pain or suffering within you, keep that question in your mind. And they just move on. A few days back, I think, okay, I've got another confusion that, okay, why did this universe is big? So in that, let us consider Earth is a planet with life. In that, there are a lot of continents, a lot of countries. But in all that countries, why only Hindu gods opted a small place called India? Why are these people not spread across the globe? India is a small space. Why God has focused only on this small space, probably which occupies to 2.5% of the complete area of the earth? So I don't have an answer for that. And there are many questions of that kind in my mind. And I'm confused with all that, but I'm not so worried about it. Because I feel that I'll get answers for them someday or the other. There were hundreds of questions, okay, which have put me into confusion. But I could explore answers for most of the questions. You too will. Don't worry about that. Okay? So everything starts with a confusion. So go in that confusion, keep working in that confusion, keep updating yourself in that confusion. In the due course, okay, you get clarity about it. You don't need to worry about that, pyari, okay? And how to overcome anxiety. See, we people want to finish off things very fast. Probably you're undertaking some courses and you want to gain some job. Probably you'll be looking forward for the job immediately. But why don't you enjoy learning? So instead of looking for a job, when you finish your learning process, nobody can stop you from getting a job. Most of the times I keep telling to my students, when you're ready with the knowledge that you have to develop, automatically job comes to you. Nobody can stop you from getting that knowledge. But the only challenge is everyone wants to finish it off fast. But I don't think that even if you finish it, even if you finish your training is not going to stop. Because you have to keep learning throughout your life. Of course, if you can get into your job quicker, you're going to get some financial benefit. But there is a lot of life, okay, which you can enjoy making money. So whatever you are doing, just celebrate that. So don't be anxious about doing anything in life. So just keep celebrating everything. If you are poor today, celebrate being poor. If you are in tension, celebrate being in tension. If you are having friends, celebrate being with friends. So if you are with your family, celebrate being with your family. If you are isolated from everyone and if you are alone, celebrate that aloneness. Because every phase of life is an experience. What you have today, you may not have in future. You may not get it back again. So you have to be very careful and conscious about getting maximum fun out of it, celebrating every single moment. Because what is gone forever. So you can never get it back. Most of the times, I don't know, like when I was in 15 to 25 or 30, I used to think why life is so dull, why life is so slow. So I'm not going to gain pace in life. Why I'm not able to do something wonderful in my life. But once I started doing something in my life, at around 30, I don't know how this 20 years passed by. I even get shocked, okay, how quickly life is going on. I even had a pretty big challenge when I was around 40 or 42. So it's almost 7-8 years gone by after facing that challenge and creating a comfortable life out of myself. So missing a lot of things, realizing a lot of lessons. One thing that challenge has taught me was true friends will be the same when we are right or wrong. They will be the same when we do right things. They will be the same when we do wrong things. They accept our mistakes. But people who are not true, who just want to make an advantage of our relationship, so they hang on to us when they are getting benefited out of us. If they are in a situation wherein they are going to face some challenges because of us, then they are immediately going to leave us and move away from us. I hope you understand this concept clearly. So don't be so anxious about anything. Just keep celebrating everything what you are doing. All that you need to do for that is live in the present moment. Right now, what has happened, okay? I can't get it back. So what's going to happen tomorrow, I don't know exactly. So, but all my focus is about one thing. That is how best I can do this question answer session and leave. So if I'm eating, I eat. If I'm sleeping, I sleep. If I'm talking, I talk. If I'm guiding students, I guide. Because all my life, I just focus on the present moment. I never get into the past because there are a lot of mistakes what I must have done in my life. And I don't want to worry for all that and feel guilt about it. Because if I did not do that mistakes, I'm not what I am today. Mistakes only molded me to this today. Mistakes only made me learn a lot of things what I could never learn otherwise. And future, I don't know exactly, because we are not immortal human beings. We are all mortal people. So at any moment, okay, we can leave this earth and go. So life is not something which is certain. And when we are sure to leave this earth, and we don't know when, it can be any moment in our life. And there's nothing to be worried about in future. So all we have is the time that is there before us. How best we make use of it, how best we celebrate it, is everything. So let's play it. Let's take it forward. That's it. Nothing else than this. Okay. So thank you so much, Pyari, for your wonderful question. Keep moving. Keep growing. Hi, Raidu. Good evening. So your question is, మనసుని ప్రశాంతంగా ఉంచుకోవడం అర్థమైంది, కానీ మైండ్ని ప్రశాంతంగా ఉంచుకోవడం ఎలా, ఆలోచనలని ఎలా ఆపేది? I don't say that it's pretty easy to handle the mind. Mind and manasu is nothing but mind, okay? What we call as manasu is mind only. So probably I don't know what you're exactly thinking about. Both the things are the same. So we need to understand that, okay, whatever our mind is thinking, it's thinking because of the memory it has or the imagination it has. So let's say one thing. Yesterday I went home around 8:40 or so. I had someone who came to meet me. It was some discussion about getting started with an institute. So once I went home around 8:40 or so, I looked for my son. That fellow was not there. And even the cycle was not there. I asked my mother, I asked my wife, okay, where is Shravan? She said that that fellow didn't tell me where he is going. I don't know where he is exactly. So automatically I started observing my imagination. My imagination started going in different ways. So thinking about a lot of negative things, that something might have happened, okay, something might have this, that and all. So but I have to realize that if something really happens, I have to face it. There is no alternate for that. But that is all imagination. That's not true. So when I have to face, definitely if something is going to happen, then what is the question of worry in that? I know that it's all the imagination of the mind. When I realize that this is the reality, my mind is imagining something, but it is not true, then we can just leave it out. See, I had some serious challenges with my daughter, wherein she was having some health issues. So I was so scared, I was so worried, okay, about her future, how she is going to be, whether she will be suffering for something or the other in life. So if she have to struggle a lot about her health in life, that might be a very disturbing thing for her. How can I really solve the issue and all? I was in such a kind of pressure that my mind used to continuously imagine something, and that imagination used to create a lot of pressure within me that her life and our life is going to be a miserable one. At one phase, I wanted to break this. So what I did is, I went to the doctor directly and asked her what would be the worst scenario that can happen in her case. The doctor said probably she might need kidney transplantation. I asked how much it would cost. So 40 to 50 lakhs. Done. That's it, right? That would be the worst case, nothing else than that. Yes, if she is not responding to medicine, then we have to go for that. Then I was free because I was prepared. If that is going to happen, I have to take care of her kidney transplantation, that's it. I'll do it, it's not a big deal. So after all, I have to sell all my properties and invest all that money in that. And doing something for our children is not a big deal. So later, I never had any kind of imagination about it. So the worry you are getting is out of only two things, out of memory or imagination. Both of the things are not real. Memory is not real and imagination is also not real. Memory is all about something that has already happened in our life. What has happened. We don't need to worry about that because it's not going to happen again. So probably there may be someone whom I loved so much and they are going to leave me. And that's a pretty bad memory. But why that has happened? Okay, I suffered for it. I experienced pain. It's gone. But why should I recollect that and again suffer today? For no reason, because it has already happened. And there's no way I'm going to get it back again in life. See, my 50 years are gone. So, in any manner, I cannot get my 50 years back. There is no magic, there is no logic. If I understand this truth, then I'll think about taking care of the time what I have on this earth. I don't worry about what is gone, but I will care for what is there in me. So, mind has two faculties. One is memory, the other one is imagination. And you need to understand that both of these things are not real. See, one day, one of my students, I think Kranti, was talking about this, that and all, okay? And I accidentally asked him a question. The question was like this, okay? Do you have a past? And he said, yes. Then can you take me into it? He said, how can I take you into that? Then I told him, where is your past then? It's in my memory. Okay. When it is in your memory, it's not real. So why should you keep worrying about it? Forget about it. So don't get into your past, because when you just get into your past and recollect all the things that happened in your life, and that memory creates a lot of thought process, and once you identify with one thought, so let's say if you get identified with some difficult situations what you had in your past, your mind keeps on thinking one after the another, one after the another. All the difficult situations will be coming up in life. And if it is about future, it is the fear that we encounter because our mind starts imagining about a lot of things. See, we are at the end of the month. Probably there is a lot of imagination that will be running in my mind about the salaries I have to pay, okay, the payments I have to close, the chits and all I have to close. So there are a lot of things which I'll be thinking, okay, there is some money that I have to adjust for some of my friends. So wherein they are working on some business projects. I don't know how I'll get all this. Right now, I'm empty. I don't have any source even. I don't have any clarity that it is going to come from this source or that source. But the feeling I have in myself is, I started this institute almost 17 years back. In all these 17 years, every year we had 12 months. And at the end of every month, I had this challenge. Okay, I was never like, I had a lot of money and I was waiting for when will 31st come and when can I pay salaries sharply to people. It's not like that. Pressure will be there always. But when I've handled it for 17 years, almost 12 times in a year, there is something around 200 and plus times, okay? So why still I have to worry about it? God will take care of it. God will have some way or the other in order to resolve it. But only thing is, people imagining that something bad is going to happen, something critical is going to happen, they keep on suffering. But slowly you will experience this in your life that, so everything what you have to encounter in life will be taken care of. But it may take some time. We have to handle it step by step and move. So remember, all the things that you are suffering about comes up in two ways. One is your memory and the other one is your imagination. Both of them are not real. So when you understand that they are not real, just keep watching. Let your mind imagine about anything. So realize that it's not real. The best example I can give you is this ride, okay? Suppose you are watching a movie. In that movie, 30 to 40 people came. They caught the hero. They tied him to something and they started stabbing him, beating him, okay, torturing him. So will anyone in the theater get up and say that hero is being beaten, being stabbed and people are torturing him? Let us go and save him. Or let us go to police station and complain about this. Nobody will do this. Because we know that they are just acting. It's not real. So we may be emotional. We may even get tears in our eyes. We may be so involved about the things that are happening on the screen. But we know that it's not real. It's just a movie. People are acting there. In a similar manner, when you clearly realize that it is your imagination and it is your memory that's making you to suffer, I don't think that you'll be pretty serious about anything. You'll be worrying about anything. You need to realize that, okay, that's not true. And I think even when I was talking to Tulsi once, I just asked her, okay, are the thoughts that are coming in your mind yours? Are the thoughts that are coming in your mind yours? Some questions come accidentally and I asked her the same. She said, yes, they are mine. But then I made her realize that they are not yours. They are from the memory what you have driven from the external world. They are not yours. See, your thoughts are all about how you want to create your future, but they are memory driven. So when thoughts are not ours, the thinking that is coming out of that is definitely not ours. When it is not ours, okay, why should we break our head? All the fuss that is happening in my mind about memory, about imagination, and the thoughts that are being projected in it and the thoughts that come out of it, okay, when these are all not real, so why the hell I have to suffer? The truth is that my mind has memory, my mind has imagination, and my mind can think. And you need to use this for my beneficent providence, for my benefits. Probably memory can help me. I'm answering a lot of contents. I just claimed one incident that happened with Kranti, one incident happened with Tulsi, and one incident that happened with my daughter. All these things, if I don't have in this memory, if this information is not there in my memory, I cannot be talking to you. So I need to use this memory for a better cause. And in the same sense, imagination. So I should use it about, I want to create something in future. Probably I want to make people gain awareness about this institute. So now I need to use my imagination. How if I do this, it's going to have an impact in my life. Hope you're understanding. This is the process. That's it. So your thinking, your memory, and your imagination must be utilized for a good cause. Then there is no problem. But we are not using it for what we want. See, I use my memory, I use my thinking, and I use my imagination for delivering the content what I have to deliver to the students, for solving the problems that I encounter in my life, for creating something what I really want to create in my life. But I'm not using my memory, I'm not using my thinking, I'm not using my imagination for giving scope for unnecessary thoughts and breaking my head for them. So your mind is something like, if you watch it, it stops thinking. If you don't watch it, then it keeps on thinking. So just watch it. Realize that these are not real. So when you realize that that is not real, then you don't worry about it. So you're so scared that there is a snake in a burrow in your house, but someone went on and put some stick and tried to pull it out, and that was not a snake and that was only a thread. When you realize that that is only a thread, okay, now you have no worry about it, okay, you relax yourself comfortably there. But in doubt, you will have a lot of worry going on in your life. You need to understand this, I suppose. Thanks for your question, Min. And good evening, Ganesh. Thanks a lot for your questions, Min. You have two questions. Let me go with one first. What's meant by fake people and real people? There are no fake, there are not fake people, real people and all men, good people, bad people, great people, worse people, no. There are people, okay? Different situations, different circumstances drive them to a strategy wherein these people start thinking in a different way. So let's presume, okay, a child is sent to school, the child is asked to develop some fundamental content. There are no exams at all. There is no ranking. There is no competition. Because in truth, okay, we cannot create a competition between people. All may be studying in one class, but definitely all of them are not going to do same things in life. See, in my class, we had around 22 or 24 students. I don't think that anyone is there in spoken English training. So one is into event organization, someone is working as a doctor, someone is working as a businessman, okay. So different people are into different streams. Someone is into accounting, okay, someone is into software. So when people are driven into different angle, how can we set a competition among ourselves? So comparing ourselves, that fellow is scoring high in maths, this fellow is good score in social, that fellow is wonderful in dance, this fellow is wonderful in singing. So we can never have competition. If you can just take this competition away, then just think, okay, everyone has to do what they want to do. Everyone has to develop what they can develop. Everyone has to get better than what they were before. That's it. If you have to get better than what you were before, so probably you are something yesterday, You have to become something better than that today. And definitely you can, because doing one good activity that you have not done before makes you a better person. So when our focus is on improvising ourselves, not comparing with anyone, not competing with anyone, not trying to be better than anyone, then I don't think that, okay, we have any issue. But society, there are a lot of people who want to create a better life out of themselves. They want to be better than others. They want to earn more than others. They want to look more luxurious than others. They want to appear more rich than others. So, in the greed of this, in the lust of this, they have developed jealousy, they have developed envy, and through this process, so people are trying to do something which is irrelevant. It's no way needed for them, but still people are evolving into different things in life. If there is no competition among people and everyone has to lead their life by themselves, I don't think that, okay, people are going to turn something different. What is the need for a politician to earn crores of rupees if he is not in comparison with anyone? There are many politicians who did not even save 1 rupee also. We have experienced in recent generations about Abdul Kalam, whose bank balance was zero when he passed away, who just had around 1100 to 1200 books, and a house that was gifted to him, a few shirts, pants, shoes, belt, and pen and pencil. That's it, nothing else than that. So, people who are just trying to earn more, they are trying to earn more because they are comparing with someone and want to be better than them. But if that comparison is not there, I don't think that people have to do any kind of rush. So if they realize that they need to do what they really love to do in order to be happy in life, everything is going to be comfortable. See, I identified that I love teaching, and if I start teaching students, if I start guiding students, okay, for leading better life, and if I can make this world a beautiful place to live in, I'll be the happiest. In doing so, I'm celebrating my life. So when I realize this, there is nothing for me to compare with anyone, compete with anyone. There's nothing for me to be better than anyone, okay? Whatever I am, I'm happy. So all I need to do is, I have to get better than what I was yesterday. I have to get better than what I was in the afternoon. That's it. I keep on working in order to improvise myself, because whenever I look at myself, okay, I should feel I'm better than before. That is something that makes me happy. But people are brought into competition. People are compared. People are forced to compete with others. So people are running a rat race. When everyone is running a rat race in comparison, being in competition, trying to be better than others, okay, they do a lot of things. They spread a lot of negative information. They talk ill of people. They overlook people. They hate people. They spread jealousy among people. They create envy. A lot of things comes into picture. And that's how some people appear to be fake. Some people appear to be real. It's like they want to be good in the minds of everyone. And for that reason, okay, they have something in themselves and they express something outside. They're not transparent. So they want to influence people, they want to impress people, they want to be better than others, okay. All this nonsense is creating a lot of fuss in the world. But if this all is not there, so let's say if every person is distributed into different islands, when he has to lead his life only alone in that island. So in a big island, if only one person is there and if that person has to leave there like that, I don't think that he does anything nonsense. Probably he'll be focusing on only one thing, okay. So sleeping well, eating well, getting up in the morning, doing something what he loves. That's all. But as people are in society, and as people has taught us, see corporate schools getting introduced in the market, they have forced students to go for ranking, forced students to go for IIT, different statistics, okay. and progress reports became more important than courage, confidence, and clarity about anything. So today, I really feel that, okay, a student when he goes to school to educate himself, he must build his courage, he must build his confidence, he must build his clarity about various things. But instead of courage, clarity, and confidence, people are developing fear, doubt, and hesitation by going to school. They are scared of everything in life and they are afraid of everything. So, because of fear, doubt, and hesitation, they have become a calm person. They're not doing anything. They're just watching or spectating everyone around them. That's it. Nothing else than this. So, there are no fake people. There are people who are made like that as they are put into competition, as they are asked to be better than others, as they are asked to score 2 marks better than their neighbor. So, they are trying to prove themselves to be better in different ways and they want to master everything. In the process, some kind of things appear negative. Okay, understand this logic and start loving everyone, men. Okay, everyone is good on this earth, but the only thing is they're immature. We need to have a lot of patience in order to understand the situation of a person. Everyone is born empty and their minds are fed with a lot of information which is not needed indeed. And because of that information, their mind starts thinking in that perspective. Probably you go and meet anyone today in the society, they'll be living with one cause in their mind, that is, they want to make money. And they think that once they make a lot of money, they are going to solve every challenge what they have in life. Probably I started my career almost 22 or 24 years back. But I started with a salary of 500 rupees, I suppose, when I started training for competitive exams. So I worked for a month, 1.5 months or 2 months in Progressive Academy, I still remember. And they paid me 500 rupees for that. Then I worked with Verma for communication skill training and I was paid 900 rupees per month. From there I've improved my status, income in many folds, I suppose. But still, I don't think that no magic has happened. The more we earn, the more expenditure we create. And that's how it is. And there's no use storing a lot of money, just imagining that something great is going to happen in life. It's all senseless. So, have patience, have a bit of understanding. So, they are in a confused state and their behavior is turned so. So, slowly realize that, then everything will be alright, Ganesh. The other question is, what is the difference between negative people and positive people? I hope I answered your question already. There is no one like negative one and positive one, okay? See, like if you have a brother in your house and your brother studies well, scores good marks in education, probably your father must be comparing you with him and scolding you that you're not able to do that. So in the process, what happens is, you would fight initially in order to gain, because people don't tell why you're not, they don't have patience to understand why you're not able to score well, okay? Whether that is your talented area or not. Probably you're not born to create that in life, you're born for something else. See, my sister also studied in St. Pritha Public School, but my sister was not so committed or dedicated towards English development. But I was dedicated and very serious about English development. I used to spend much of my time with my English masters. And I used to always stay with people who speak English, because there was a link for me to walk this path. And that is the reason why God made me to develop that. So everyone is unique and everyone is different. But everyone is put in a rat race wherein everyone is asked to run and be better than others, okay? We see people doing all kinds of silly things. And it's all funny. It's like if you go through the life of Alexander, who just said after conquering half of the world, he said that I'm the biggest failure in life. Because the only thing we need to understand is this. When we try to fulfill a desire, more desires comes into picture. When you fulfill one desire, okay, you will have 100 desires to get fulfilled. So, but if you destroy the attitude of creating a desire, so when you don't have desires in life, then you will have experience of happiness and peace. And that's what we need to understand, I suppose. Okay. All the best. Thank you, Ganesh, for your wonderful questions. Okay. So another question is also from you. What's meant by a goal and a dream? Probably dream is something what you want to achieve in your lifetime. So once you come to 15 or 20 years of age, you will have another 40, 50 years wherein you will dedicatedly work on a particular project. So what is that you want to achieve in that 40, 50 years of life? See, I want to create some world-class resource personalities. I want to create people who can help this world to be a better place to live in. And I'm working on that. That's my dream. And that is something which I cannot really do in my 40 years or 50 years of work. Okay, but that is far beyond my abilities. We have to create a dream which is so big that it definitely must not be possible for us to finish it in our lifetime. And we have to create such big dreams, because it's not the completion of the dream that gives us happiness and peace and prosperity, but it is the process that we are working for a good cause that gives us happiness, that gives us bliss, joy. So create a dream which is far bigger than what you can do in the next 40, 50 years of your life. Okay? And goal is just an action plan. Action plan in the sense, if you want to attain something in life, if you want to achieve something in life, you will set some goals. Suppose you want to speak in English. So first you have to take a goal of joining an institute. So the first goal is you join an institute. The second goal is you listen to classes every day. The third goal can be you practice what you have learned. See, communicating English is all about applying what you have learned. So the biggest challenge with all the people is they listen to the class, they understand the content, they analyze what exactly is taught to them, but they don't apply in their real world. If they start applying in the real world, I think, okay, anyone can speak English, but as they live in a platform or atmosphere wherein everyone speaks Telugu only, so they get opportunities in order to apply Telugu language, but they never get opportunities in order to apply English language. So this one challenge makes them not to apply what they learn, and in the process, okay, they forget what they learn and they'll be back to square one, the same what they were before. So most of the times I make them apply the content in the class to a very good extent, but I think they must also learn to apply the things, okay, in their real life. Once they learn to apply the content in their real life, just it's all about taking a minute gap or a second gap. So what is that I want to speak? Then just thinking about it, how can I speak this in English? Suppose I want to say, "O glass to neil iskra." So what is this sentence? This is an instruction what I'm giving to the other fellow. So bring me a glass of water. So let me create that sentence and then express it. That is what application is. So when you start thinking about what you are talking and then translate that into English and start communicating in the external world, okay, I think you can make a wonderful outcome of that. So goal is an action plan which you take in order to complete a specific task. Suppose you undertake a project, you set some goals for it, okay. Like what I can say, you create some deadlines, you create some time span, okay, how many hours you have to work. So which module you have to work right now, and then what are the other modules you need to handle like this. You just mix up all these things and create what you exactly want in life. That's it, nothing else than this. Hope you understood this. So it's a very simple process. So goal is just an action plan. Dream is something what you really want to create out of your life. So in creating a dream, see why people set dreams and why people set goals is all we have is time and energy in life. So time anyway definitely is not in our hands. But all we have in life is energy. So we have to drive that energy for a positive cause. Because by driving at that energy for a positive cause, we earn some respect in life. So earning respect, we gain love towards ourselves, belief towards ourselves, which makes our thinking superior. So once we make our thinking superior, everything great is going to happen in life. So we have to set goals, we have to set dreams so that we start utilizing our time by driving all the energies that we have towards that specific thing. That's it. So thank you so much, Ganesh, for your questions, and thank you all for your wonderful questions. Hope the discussion what we make today would add sense for you. As I told you just now, it's all about applying what you have learned in your life that makes a big difference. Because if you're not applying what you have learned in life, okay, it's not going to add any value for yourself. So earn some respect by applying the knowledge what you have gained and lead a happier life. Celebrate the love in you. Make this world a happier place to live in. Thank you so much, guys. Thanks a lot.